good feeling. We are live. This is Comics Spot with Linda Marcus Smith, your girl. And I have a very good friend, a very positive role model, inspiring gentleman, hard worker. And let me read you a few things about Jeffrey Peterson over in the other square. He's been the 420 comic for 18 plus years, probably 19 by now. He has worked with Cheech and Chong at the same time, I do believe, which is rare. Willie Nelson, Joe Rogan, and many more cannabis icons. Did you hear the list of who he's worked with? And this is only the tip of the freaking iceberg with him. Season 1 winner of the Marijuana Show. He's the 420 comic for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and for you too. He's headlining JPs Comedy Club in Gilbert, Arizona this weekend. And he has a new comic book out. Welcome to Comic Spot, brought to you by ahabroadway.org. Welcome to the stage right the heck now, Jeffrey freaking Peterson.
Hey.
Hi,
Wow.
Jeffrey Peterson. How are you?
I like it. I never heard frickin' in between my name. I like it. Might have to use that. Always good to talk to you, Linda. We're not just comedy colleagues, we're friends, and so it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes.
So much going on. I try not to be busy. I try to just smoke pot all the time, but they keep me busy. So I'm an extremely productive stoner, which is like just goes against the grain there, but I can't help myself. So super busy. Really excited about Phoenix this weekend, aka Gilbert, Arizona. I grew up there, went to high school there, and a lot of my friends and family will be there. So this is going to be fantastic. I've never performed at a JPs Comedy Club, and JP, the owner, Jim Perry, hit me up, and what a super nice guy. And the manager, Tony Visich, is a comedy coach in Phoenix. And so just really thrilled to be working with such guys. And I'm going to be celebrating Kurt Diesel's 50th birthday. So it's going to be pretty good.
Give him a big fat wet kiss for me.
Well, I'll pass him a joint for you. How's that?
Okay. Yeah.
He wouldn't respond well to a big fat kiss from me, I'll tell you that.
Well, JP's Comedy Club is very near and dear to my heart because JP's is owned by a veteran and they're very pro veterans. Liz Friesius works there. And they give opportunities to veterans as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, JP apparently is the cop comic. So good thing pot's legal there in Arizona, or I'd be worried. But not to worry, we're gonna have a great time there in Arizona, and I'm gonna be I'll be there for a little bit and enjoying some company with some old friends and stuff. So I look forward to that. But come out to the shows, folks. If you're out in the Arizona way, I'll be doing 5 shows from Thursday to Sunday. So
yay, congratulations. I wish I could go with you and witness it.
Well, Phoenix has always been, near and dear to me. And I've performed at a lot of other clubs there. So to perform at JP's is exciting. And heck, my initials are JP, so it works for me. Pretty easy. But I have a gripe, though, I wanted to bring up on your show since you're so comic minded.
Go right ahead.
I'm not big on the festivals, and I haven't done a lot of festivals. I made my own cannabis comedy festival that went really great. I did that with Amanda Whitmer, who she helped create that before I came along, but I brought it to Vegas. So I've been part of putting on a festival, and I've been part of the Portland Comedy Festival, which I thought was tremendous. That's how I met you. And but I got a gripe about 2 festivals. I just got 2 rejections from 2 festivals.
Albuquerque?
From the Albuquerque Funny Fiesta to them, and also Big Pine Comedy Festival.
Oh.
to them. So I told them both. I told Albuquerque, wow, I don't know what your criteria is, but I really feel like you are scam artists and you're ripping off comedians. I would like to see who made the cut, and I can't wait to see who makes the cut. Secondly, so to Albuquerque, what I said to them, I'll say to you on your show. Oh, well, then that's just fine. You don't want me in your festival. I'm not a big crybaby here, but I really think my credentials and my ability on stage completely merited me being one of the headliners. So if you don't want me there, tough titty. I will be the host of the Albuquerque Cannabis Convention, September 25th through the 27th. So right there to you guys over there, the Albuquerque funny fuckhole. And secondly, now to the Big Pine people. Big Pine, really? Cave Creek, Arizona? No offense to one of your great headliners, Jack Asadorian, who I think is fantastic, but I didn't see anybody else on there that's worthy of being a headliner. I have headlined clubs in Phoenix for many years. I've headlined at the Cardinal Stadium in 2011 for the Green Relief Expo. So, like I said to them, I don't know what their criteria is, but the people I saw in the lineup, to me, it looked like it was a money grab. So I say to the Big Pine Comedy Festival, a big birdie to you. I will be headlining JPs Comedy Club in Phoenix and Gilbert this weekend. So there you go. I just thought I promised both festivals that I would make it public that I think they suck. And I think both of them are in an opportunists trying to grab money from comedians. So.
Well, you have a right to your opinion, and I certainly admire you for speaking out how you feel. And anything is welcome here. I've loosened up from what I used to. Oh, no politics, no whatever you want to talk about. Talk about it. Doesn't mean my opinion.
Well, and these aren't politics. This is within the comedy, our industry, and so I really think that there are. I probably won't be signing up to, for too many more festivals, submitting to too many festivals, because I really, when I see who's on the bill, it's a bunch of bullshit. And no offense to Dante, of course, and Rebecca, they put on a phenomenal festival with people I really enjoyed being part of. But not all festivals are created equal, and I see there's a lot of cash grabs there from festivals. So this is my testimony to comedians. Be careful when you give your money, when you give your 10, 20 bucks, which seems like nothing, but you do that to 100 people, you just got $2,000, and which is exactly what they do. So.
Well, I think that when I don't think people should move on in a festival based on how many people are there voting. I don't think the audience should vote. I think it should be professionals, a panel of industry professionals that judge, maybe even the news media, somebody that covers art entertainment, not people coming to watch comedy voting for their friends.
Right. But, it's kind of weird because like I said, I don't know what the acceptance process was or who judged that, but they failed at their task. Because to his credit, when Dante booked me for the Portland Comedy Festival, he put me in the cannabis comedy show that they had on Friday night. He put me as the headliner, which was appropriate and smart. So
very much so.
But I've got so much other great stuff going on. Like I just mentioned, I'll be at the Albuquerque Cannabis Convention in September. I'm also going to be part of the Unicon here in Las Vegas, which is a huge comic book convention at the World Market Center. That's going to be October 1st through the 3rd. So I will be there in the Artists Alley signing autographs of my comics and selling commissions and all kinds of stuff. And
you're such a hard worker. I walked with you through the convention here across the street from me. And you go up to every booth and make sure everybody knows who you are, give them copies of your book and autograph them. I mean, you work it like a business.
Well, it is a business. It's an industry. And, you got to, especially when you're in the business of promoting yourself, you got to be relentless about it. And you have to love your product and the product that in question is me, and I'm pretty confident about that product. So I have a new comic book out. Really excited about that. It's the Operation Pipe Dreamers. Really, the Jerome Baker comic book. If anybody out there knows who Jerome Baker is, he is the most famous glass blower in the world. And he's based here in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Dream Factory. So we're going to be having a big launch party for this comic book. This is our 16th publication of comics. My brother and I, my brother Dagwood, and we've published 4 comic books this year in just 8 months, and we'll be publishing about 4 more by the end of the year.
Oh, that's fabulous. How do people get a hold of your comic books, your merch, your t-shirts, everything?
Just hit me up on the Instagram or Facebook, either the 420 Comic or Cali Chronic Comics, and you can find us on there. And we have these comic books are for sale in 22 states and about 34 stores across the country. So they're going everywhere.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. What's the goal what are you going for in your lifetime with your comic books and with your comedy? Well,
I said on a TV show, the marijuana show, that I would be the Stan Lee of weed. And I intend to really revolutionize the comic book industry. And what's become very apparent to me is that I'm on the right path, because not only is Hollywood making a movie right now called Super High with Andy Samberg, Craig Robinson, and Common, about superheroes on weed. Boy, I wonder where they came up with that idea. And then also, I was just watching Titans on HBO, which is one of my favorite shows. The Scarecrow, who was Batman's one of his nemesis, one of his villains, smokes pot on the show. The Scarecrow is a stoner. So, having villains and superheroes that smoke pot is not so out of the ordinary, it turns out. And so I'm on the right path, and Hollywood is proving that to me. So the goal is to have some animated series. We would love to see all of our comic books turn into animated series, but the first one we want is one called The Achievers, which is our post-apocalyptic comic book. We would love to have that. We've been in development for a while trying to make that an animated series. So that's basically what I want to do. And as far as comedy, I really can't, my goals now are so short, because not to sound trite, but I've accomplished just about everything I want to. And the one person that knows that probably the last thing I really want to put a capper on all this as a plateau is George Lopez, and I have talked about me opening for him. So when I can make that happen, it's going to be monumental for me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we know what you do professionally. What are some things that Jeffrey Peterson loves to do when nobody is watching, nobody really knows about? Like, I see pictures of you out at your pool with your girlfriend. You have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You have very close ties with Kurt Diesel. You have a lot of very good comedy friends. But you like to eat, you like to cook. I know you cooked me dinner once.
Yeah.
What are some things you like to do besides that?
Well, as you saw on the show that I had last year, every week, I am a sitcom fanatic. I mean, my brother and I we get a lot of joy out of laughing at funny sitcoms or things that are funny. I don't watch a lot of stand-up because I'm afraid of being influenced or watching somebody steal one of my jokes or something. So I don't. But I love sitcoms, and I've discovered this guy Chris Lilly from Australia, who has a show on Netflix called Lunatics. I just can't get enough of him. He is just so hilarious, and I'm watching all of his stuff on YouTube. And if you get a chance, check out Chris Lilly. He's just tremendous. He's on the par of Tracy Ullman, Martin Short, you know, that kind of Mike Myers, you know, that kind of person that can do many, many characters. And I love to hang out with my dog when I get a chance to. I'm a big dog guy, and I spend a lot of time drawing for work, but it's my passion, so it's never like, you know, grueling to me. You know, I see comics say, like, you know, rise and grind. I don't rise and grind. I rise and bake. I rise and we wake and bake. Okay, and so we don't start the day with a grind. I'm never on a grind. I'm always on a flow, because a grind means resistance. I don't want any resistance. I just go with a flow. And but yeah, I love comic books. I'm a total comic book nerd, so I read comic books you know, a lot, and I love science fiction. I read Philip K. Dick and Harlan Ellison and Ray Bradbury, people like that. I very much love to read, and I write sci-fi short stories. And
No way.
and yeah, and I have a game plan with it's so weird. Over the shut-in last year, I rediscovered some writings of mine that I had did 25 years ago. I had done when I was you know, 27, 28. I had written these short stories in the vein of you know, Twilight Zone, Black Mirror, that type of stuff, and sci-fi, fantasy, horror type stuff. And you know, I was so lucky to meet Ray Bradbury back at that time, and he encouraged me to keep writing. So I kind of used that as like a goal. And then I got to meet and become friends with another great sci-fi writer, George Clayton Johnson. He didn't do much. He just wrote Ocean's 11 and Logan's Run. So George was a phenomenal person, and somebody that also influenced me. So I wrote these sci-fi short stories, started reading them, and realized, wow, I really was onto something when in my 20s. I mean, I didn't even know why I was writing them. My wife at the time was like, why are you even doing this? I mean, I said, I don't know. I'm just kind of obsessed with them. And when I met Ray, it was so interesting because he had said, the first time I met him was at a book signing, and I told him that I'm a writer, and he told me to continue to write, and you know, to not stop writing. And so 6 years later, I come walking up at another book signing, and as I'm walking up, Ray Bradbury recognizes me and says, well, look, it's my friend, the writer.
My gosh.
And I was like, he said, have you continued to write, my friend? And I said, yes, I have. And he said, how many stories?
Tell people watching who Ray Bradbury is.
Oh, Ray Bradbury is the author of The Martian Chronicles, Fahrenheit 451, the Something Wicked This Way Comes. He's one of the greatest authors in history, American history, for sure. And Ray, as I walked up, he said, have you continued to write, my friend? And I said, yes, I have. And he said, how many stories have you written? And I said, 30. He said, write 30 more, and you, my friend, will be a writer. So now I've written 76 stories. So not including my comic books, but so I write short sci-fi short stories. I in February of this year, I wrote 6 sci-fi short stories in 6 days for a new project that I have. And that project is something that I'm going to be working on. It's called 6 the Hard Way. And I wrote 6 stories in 6 days. And what I've done is I'm going to take these short stories, and I've already recorded 4 of them with the help of Warren Durso, the great comedian, and Stephen Pearl, the great comedian. I'm going to have comedians with great voices read my stories. And they're not necessarily funny stories. So that's going to be the neatest part, is to hear these great voices that are normally funny be somewhat serious. I mean, wait till you hear Stephen Pearl's recording. It's
I
crazy.
can't wait.
It's crazy. I'll tell you, it's his story. You're not gonna believe it. Yeah. So recently, when I was in Denver at the Mutiny Con, they allowed me an opportunity to recite two of my stories to an audience, and I did, and it was really great. So I'll be doing that in the near future. I'll be, setting up a show where I have comedians read my short stories. So
That's great.
yeah. So when as far as what I do and love to do, it's stuff like that, and I'm always on a creative thing. I mean, I creativity is big with me, but when the weather's nicer, I love to play disc golf. When I get a chance, that's a fun thing to do, and when the weather's nicer, I ride a bike pretty much every day. I love to ride a bike. So I
How
get,
far do you ride your bike?
usually I do at least 5 miles a day. I do laps to just listen to great music, and I'm a huge music fan, especially heavy metal and rock and roll.
No,
I
I
just went
wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I just went and saw Guns N' Roses last Friday here at Allegiant Stadium. That was just tremendous, so great. And yeah, so I'm a big, when the world allows it, I go to concerts a lot, and I love to do that, and go see live bands and stuff. So I just try to enjoy life. I travel more than I probably want to, but it's all necessary, and it's always fun when I'm somewhere else. So I like to be at home, but when I am there and I am traveling, I enjoy it. So
So one thing that I've never asked you personally or professionally, and it goes both ways, I've noticed you have a real authentic love for people. Where does that come from? Respect and love. If I had to sum you up in a short phrase, you have a authentic love and respect for all people. Where does that come from?
well, I was moved. I was a latchkey kid. I was moved around a lot, so I had to become friends with people quickly. And when I was a kid, I was always the new kid at school, and so it's interesting. I've latched on to some great people over the years, and I'm shocked at some of the people that aren't in my life anymore. But I would say that I'm not the best judge of character, to be honest with you. I've often given away too much for free. I've opened myself up to the wrong people. I've embraced people that are not truly embracing me. And so I'd say in this stage of my life, I'm very interested in keeping my circle small. And I don't mind anything they say about me out there, because I'm doing my own thing. And I'm not one of those people too that, I hate this phrase, stay in your own lane. I'll go in whatever fucking lane I want to go in, okay? Guess what? I'm driving. So that my lane could change, and could and should. So but I do like people, and especially good, genuine people. And if I can get through my poor ability to judge people, and really get to know somebody that's got integrity like yourself, I'm a good friend to have, and
Yes, you are.
I'm also somebody that enjoys other people's company. So yeah.
Yeah, you're a good person to sit and just talk with, I really appreciate my friendship with you.
Yeah.
I love
I
having
don't I don't
fun
do
because you can talk.
yeah, I can. And sometimes it's it's I that's one of the good things about cannabis. It helps me not dominate a conversation. It helps me pause. It helps me listen to people better, so I'm not just the guy. Um, but when I hear myself talk about my life, it's dynamic. I've lived an amazing life. I mean, I'm impressed,
Yes,
you know,
you should
and
be. Look at all
one of
the
the
things
funny
you've
things is,
done.
yeah, I saw someone post something about if you don't look back in your 20s and think you fucked up, you're lying to yourself. No, I didn't. I was awesome in my 20s. I was a lead singer in a heavy metal band. I worked for Stan Lee in my 20s. I mean, I did incredible stuff, you know, that I was a Sunday school teacher at that time, all simultaneously. So if you look back on your life in your 20s and you didn't do shit, well, that's on you. You really blew it, huh?
Still doing amazing things at this age. And I'm not saying you're old because I got no room to talk. But tell the young people listening who Stan Lee was.
Well, if they don't know, my God,
Yeah.
Stan Lee is the godfather of the comics, you know, movement, pretty much. But he was the CEO and senior editor over there at Marvel Comics, and he helped create. I'll say helped because he didn't create, but he helped create some of the greatest Marvel characters ever, and borrowed a lot from a lot of people, but that's okay. To work with him, and to get to meet him when I was dressed up as my superhero persona, Sheep Man, was unbelievable. So, but yeah, I mean, you got to make the most of your life. You know, you got to just like take every day and make the most of it. I really don't have a lot of time for negativity, and what's funny is some people have miscategorized me. They think I'm an angry person, and I'm so not angry. I'm just very passionate.
That's
You
right.
know, I'll get up in arms and loud and stuff, and I'm kind of a spaz, but I'm not angry, and I don't spend a lot of time brooding. I spend a lot of time laughing at stuff, sitcoms and stuff, and uh but people don't see me out on the Vegas comedy scene. And so I'm kind of a mystery to people. And I know they talk about me because I hear about it. But the whole thing is um, I'm creating my own niche now. I'm not focused on performing for anybody but myself. And my last two shows that are secret comedy sessions where people can use cannabis while they're watching a comedy show are unbelievable. Every person that walked out of there was like, this is like the best comedy club I've ever been to. Somebody said that that was the best comedy show they've ever seen in their life. And this was somebody that is from Vegas that has seen a lot of comedy shows. I have tremendous comedians, and I put them in a speakeasy environment. You know, we 100 years ago was the Roaring 20s. Now we got the Raging 20s. So it is time for speakeasies again. They promised us cannabis lounges, but they're not coming fast enough. So I'm making my own. So hopefully you're available to perform in the next one. That would be great.
Yes, I will kick anything off my calendar the next time. This last time I rejected your offer. I might as well have not rejected it because what I had planned turned to be a bust.
Well, let me
And
tell you this. Every comic got paid. Every comic got high if they wanted to. Uh, the audience uh, was about 50 people, 45 people, which is better than most comedy clubs.
yep.
Let's face it, I performed at these casinos. Some nights are 12 people, some nights are 17 people. I guarantee my comedians 50 people because it's all invite only, and every person has to RSVP to show up. And every comic was like, when can I do it again? Every audience member was like, please invite me to the next one. And I put this out to people. If I invite you and you RSVP and you don't show up, believe me, I won't be inviting you again anytime soon.
Exactly.
Because this is not an afterthought. There's no show like this, what I do. There's no club out there where the audience can consume cannabis while the show's going on.
Gosh, that's
Yeah.
so avant-garde. You're always on the cutting edge of doing something. And you keep my mind so motivated. That's why I just love you as a person, and I love talking to you because you just make me want to get up and run a race.
Well, The thing is, I'm good at shifting gears, you know, when something doesn't go this way, I go that way. And I've proven to myself and others, I don't need that scene out there. That scene needs me. And so there'll be people knocking on my door asking to be part of this show I'm putting on. And if they have given me a cold shoulder, they're not going to come anywhere near my show. So,
That-
you know, I'm not vindictive, but I'm going to be very selective of the people I work with, you know, and, you know, and I'm sure as soon as I do this, which I've done it probably about 5 times. I'm sure I'm going to see some copycats pretty soon, which will crack me up.
Absolutely, you will. So I guess we're kind of sort of at the end of
Yep.
this, if it makes sense to you. And what I'd like you to do is remind everybody where to see you and where to follow you, how to get your comic books, how to
Yeah.
get your merch.
Well, I'm pretty easy to find. I'm just on Instagram or Facebook, the 420 comic. You can find me pretty easily. And I have a channel on YouTube. So if you ever want to check out some of my comedy, it's on there.
What's it called?
The 420 comic.
Okay.
I keep it consistent. But yeah, I'll be besides the shows I mentioned I'll be doing, I will probably within mid-September or toward the end of September, I'll probably be announcing another secret comedy sesh.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you're going to be at JP's Comedy Club this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, 5 shows in
Thursday
Gilbert
through
area.
Saturday, just through Saturday. Yep.
Thursday.
The 2nd through the 4th, and it's going to be tremendous, guys. Come on out, say hi, and I'll be having some comic books out there and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Thank you once again for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I love you
Awesome.
to pieces.
Love you too. Keep doing good work, and congratulations on your new sponsor. So
Thank
awesome.
you so much, Jeffrey. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Love you lots. Bye.
Great. Bye.
Bye.